Hey there, welcome back to Sea Power. This is mission 4 from the Strike Fleet mission pack. This is called Wolfpack, and we are dealing with a couple of wolves. The wolves, Kirovs, 2 of them supposedly, they have sent out their missiles. We have shot down every single one of those SSN-19s, SSN-12s. Every missile that got thrown at us so far has been shot down, but one. One SAN-6 was able to eliminate a Harrier. And unfortunately, that Harrier died. Unfortunately for the enemy, the Harrier didn't die soon enough. The Harrier was able to get its own missiles away, eliminating the enemy early warning aircraft, a P-42. That should leave the Soviets rather blind, but not deaf. There's still the risk of enemy submarines about. And that's what we're going to try and hunt down now. I have 2 objectives. 1, hunt down those submarines that are supposedly going to be somewhere in our path. And 2, see if we can find the Soviet formation. Unfortunately, beyond the Sea Sprite radar, I don't have anything. So we'll just have to see where exactly they're going to be. They could be somewhere inside this area. They're going to be somewhere between us and Iceland. And that's about all I can tell you. What I'm currently doing is dropping more sonobuoys, making sure we have a very nice perimeter. I highly doubt that we will have submarines sneaking up behind us, but hey, you never know. What I forgot to do is activate the tow decoy. Active sonar on these ships. Yeah, why not? I highly doubt we'll actually get anything. But, well, it's possible. What's our active sonar range? Passive range is 70. That's very impressive. Active is only 18. That's fine. Now, the Tigers, as well as the Spades, are taking a position around the formation. They're about, what, 100 miles out? Not even that. As I mentioned in part 1, I don't know if these guys are actually going to be any kind of useful. But there are supposedly bombers out there, and I need to know where they are before these Harriers will be able to do anything useful. Because they only got short-range AIM-9 missiles. Just a couple Sidewinders, that's it. But hey, if I can shoot down 1 bomber before it starts dropping, that'll be worth it. For now though, we first need to see them. I have radars active. I've completely forgone MCON on this one. And let's see if we can find some enemy to shoot back at. Finally, we have some very large radar contacts getting detected. It's a little late, but we seem to be detecting them by radar. And we are detecting them from the Sea Sprite, so this little guy over here. They're almost about to run out of fuel. So I guess we can keep them around for a little longer, but that's about it. There's supposedly 2 of them. I'm going to say both are hostile. They're doing 13 knots heading northeast. At a leisurely 13 knots. They're not that much in a hurry. I can try to engage them. Especially with all the land attackers that I have. I can try to hide the well, let's say the actual anti-ship missiles between them. Bunker Hill does not have anti-ship tomahawks. That's unfortunate. She did have those extremely long-range RIM 156. Mobile, you do have a mix of land attacks and anti-ships. And same for Callahan. You got land attacks. No, actually, you got harpoons, Scott, harpoons. Antitam has the 109Bs and the Cs. So really, it only goes between Mobile and Antitam. That's not a whole lot of missiles. I mean, yeah, if you launch everything, it's 64 missiles. But if this is 2 Kirovs plus company, that is an extreme amount of firepower. So I'm kind of scared of the capabilities that those things have between each other, shooting down every single harpoon and or other missile that I have. Let me go slightly farther between the sonobuoys here. If I close the distance, we're going to start throwing, well, essentially anti-air missiles at each other, or surface-to-air missiles. They can work in an anti-surface role as well. The problem, of course, is that also means I'll be in their range. Okay, so it's two very large. I don't think I'll be able to jam them. They're too far away. So... ah, screw it. I can just send 64 missiles at them. And we'll see how it goes. So we're going to do the land attack missile trick again. If you're unfamiliar with that, I'm sending land attack missiles to confuse the enemy. They don't know what is coming, so they'll shoot every single missile down. And that means that some of those anti-ship missiles might actually get through. You don't really have to space these things out either, because the C's are just as fast as the B's, as opposed to, for example, harpoons. They're not as fast. In this situation, I'm going to throw out lots of these land attacks first, before throwing out some anti-ships. I want to keep these things busy. And sometimes, if you're lucky, you can actually hit a ship with a land attack missile. It's not unheard of. I'm going to say you guys are going to go there. 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 Now I'm going to throw another couple of actual anti-ship missiles in. Four there, four there. Then the last of these. I'm pointing them slightly in front of where I think the ships are actually presently, so that they can get some distance. And who knows, maybe we can still actually hit them. Now that's just these units. Of course, we have some more, which are currently aboard Mobile. So Mobile, how about you also pitch in? That's a salvo of 8. Salvo of 4 leaves 12. Then we're going to send a salvo of 4 anti-ship missiles. I'm going to send 2 anti-ship missiles. I'm going to spread these things out a little bit, so ideally they don't all target the same thing. Once those tomahawks are in the air, you can't adjust them. They're not torpedoes, they're not guided anymore. You can't exactly tell them, oh, I want you to target this thing. Nope, they just, well, off they go. Alright, give me salvo 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3. That ought to do it for all the anti-ship missiles and land attackers. Status. You still have 4 anti-ship missiles. So let's send those out there and there. Come again. Hello. Any chance that we have... yeah, Griffin 1's gonna hunt that. You're gonna continue with your sonobuoy spread. You got those nice sonobuoys of the B type. Griffin 1. Off you go, dude. We're doing a leisurely 6 knots. Almost due north, 001. Let's see, here's the mark. After doing 9 knots, they will be about there in 20 minutes. So, oh, they're increasing speed presently. 10 knots. In half an hour they'll be there. This is kind of my search area. Do we know what it could be? Not really. Confidence is really low. It's also increasing extremely slowly. Closest sonobuoy is about 5 miles out, so it makes sense. The other bird is still dropping. I could also vector Griffin 2 over. Air? Oh. Spade. Tiger. Crap, they're coming in from the wrong angle. Alright. Send it. And send these birds as well. Everything. Scramble. Range? 240 miles. If it's going to be long-range missiles, there's a fairly decent chance that we will get shot at from extreme range. And none of those Harriers will actually make it over there. Bella Wood still has some Harriers. Only 2. I'm going to keep those in reserve. And as for those Tigers here, I think Tiger 2, or sorry, Tiger 3 I rather doubt they'll be useful. I just don't really know, actually, if I've been detected. So, let's make it very difficult for the submarine to detect us. It's 40 miles out. I'm gonna go slow. I've already shot down their early warning aircraft. These things are getting detected by radar. But I'm not so sure I'm getting detected. So that means I can potentially buy some time by just going slow. That'll force these things to get in closer. And if they're those aircraft which have a minimum range of 100, they could actually become kind of harmless. That'd be interesting. Okay, we got Spade 5. And Spade 5-2 coming up on the deck. Tiger, how far can you intercept?
Roger, turn 111.
What's that 100-mile range, that marker? Right around there.
Roger, turn 121. Roger, turn.
Missile storm pursuing. Range to Griffin. Griffin 1. 17 miles out. I'm also going to tell Griffin 2 to head over there. I have 4 torpedoes between the two of them then. That ought to be sufficient for any submarine.
Track 710.
Confirmed. What you got? Alpha, Victor 1, Victor 2. Not a terribly big threat. Their sonars are okay. But passive range 6. So they're not that good at detecting me. Especially if I slow down as I just did. That might neutralize the air threat. So here I was thinking that all the SSN-19s had been sent. Well, I was pretty wrong. There's another.
On station.
At least one. And these things tend to travel in herds. So we need to be on the lookout for an additional missile. Or 10. The question is, when are we going to be able to engage it? Well, soon. It's currently at 125 miles out, but these things tend to fly in pretty fast. 1,600 miles. Well, 1,600 knots. As such, we should be able to engage them in about 30 seconds. Give or take. I'm kind of surprised I'm really only seeing one. Normally you can see a lot more of these things, so where's everybody else? Where are the rest of them? Range from Tigers, 56 miles. The only ship actually allowed to go after them is Callahan. She is already engaging. Missile is about 100 miles out. She's preparing to fire.
Birds away, track 7097.
There she goes. No, actually, that was not Callahan. That was Bunker Hill. Bunker Hill, please hold. And let Callahan handle it. The reason for letting Callahan handle it, she has those launcher arms. Bunker Hill is extremely useful later on, when those missile launchers need to start spinning up faster than what Callahan can keep delivering. So that's why I'm currently using those first. Yeah, it's just Callahan. Sorry, it's just this one SSN-19. It's weird. I still don't see anything. Missile's getting jammed. How I would love an E2C. Or something to that effect. Approaching 8 miles, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Missed. Second missile.
Buoy away.
10 miles.
On station.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Got it. Well done. Well done. Tiger took a position there. Now, some of my ASW birds are running a little low on ammunition, at least sonobuoy wise, so I'm preparing these things to get replaced. I think you're dropping your last sonobuoy. I still have actives, but I'm not that interested in using those, because those actives have a pretty awful range. So you can go back home. You're going to get taken over by this one. And over here, you still got 2 buoys left, and we already got another Sea Sprite going after that. It'll take a while to get there, But for now, at least, we should be fairly safe with cruisers. What's the top speed of these ships? Because I don't really feel like waiting around. Go to 20 knots. Bella Wood can probably keep up with that. 24 knots. And Tarawa can then too. Why are you jamming behind yourself? I guess I had the jammer on a target or something. Alright, so that was one SSN-19. Did they still find one in their magazine or something? I don't have a good explanation for why they just sent one. Makes no sense. Give me an SH3. I think these things can fly out slightly farther. Unfortunately, they don't exactly have any radar either. Well, I mean, yeah, they got a radar. No, actually, they don't have a radar. They got a warning receiver. I wonder how far they can fly, though. Because if they can drop sonobuoys farther out, that would be worth it. Yeah, it's pretty similar. No, actually, it's not pretty similar. Go there. Look at the range in this bird. I can basically touch that safe zone around Iceland. This one, however, can't quite do that. Not by a long shot. So the SH3s, the Sea Kings, definitely a better option for longer range ASW. Let's send out another then. Get a longer air anti-submarine corridor going. They only carry 8 buoys, so there's a problem. They don't carry that many, and that's the passive buoys. The active buoys, the die-casts, I can use those a little later. Another disadvantage is that these guys carry slightly older buoys. They carry the 53 base. The things I'm dropping are the 53Bs, which have a far longer duration. So they'll be able to keep me safer for a much longer period of time. Not 1 minute later, there's another. Right there. Type unknown. Picked up by a passive sonar buoy from pretty far away. I think it's this buoy right here that's picking it up. That's about 30 miles out. That's far. Okay, Griffin 2. New tasking. Go hunt that other contact.
Roger. Turn 2.
The aircraft are here are still getting launched, so Spade 5. Get over there. Get up to 40.
Roger. Go to altitude.
I'm going to have the Bella Woods. Stop jamming in the wrong direction. Let's get your bird out. I want to have 2 SH3 Sea Kings to have further anti-sub options. This Alpha is maneuvering. It's been confirmed as an Alpha. That Okean sonar is pretty good, but I don't think it's good enough. Missile status. Land attack missiles, followed by some anti-ships, by more land attacks. I wouldn't find it that unlikely if I actually hit something. What's the range from the missiles? About 100 miles. Yeah, okay. Progress. Air contacts. Range relative to the core, 220 miles. They're coming in at 497. That's fast. What's the top speed on a Harrier? 635, so I might be able to catch them. Possibly. Nightmare. Get out there.
Roger. Turn 0.
So give somebody a Nightmare.
Roger. Turn 0.
Who else we got? Nightmare 3? Nightmare 3 flight standing by. Spade 5 out. Yeah, I'm not missing any aircraft. You're coming home to rearm. There should be another Sea Sprite coming home to rearm as well. If it hasn't already.
Buoy away.
Yeah, I think it's already home. Good. I don't need to worry about that guy. Now, that Alpha. No Total Ray. So attack from behind, and you might be able to get it in one go.
Roger.
That's the plan.
Turn 2.
And here's what I was worried about. These are AS4s.
Buoy away.
So we have been detected.
Roger. Turn
And moreover, it's most likely that those aircraft are going to veer off now.
Turn 0.
They don't really have any further deal to be here. As for those AS4s, we're going to redirect some of the jammers pointing stern now, or rather pointing east. Maybe that'll slow some of the kitchens down. If not, we still have plenty of missiles ready for that. Griffin 4, you're requested frontline.
Roger. Turn 2.
Griffin 3 also requested frontline presence.
Roger. Turn 2.
The Bellawoods start jamming east. Callahan, jam east. Currently on AA duty is Callahan. And she's able to shoot at 90 miles. So we still need a little bit of range. As for our own attack, missiles are closing in nicely. 80 miles out. And in the meanwhile, Griffin 1 is about to arrive at the Alpha. The Alpha seems to be clearing their baffles, doing almost a full turn south to west, and as such, making it pretty easy for me to sneak up on her. Of course, the AI doesn't know that there is something like a helicopter around, and I don't think they can detect sonobuoys either. So this Alpha over here, they were not alone. There is another submarine out there which is doing 20 knots. It's a Victor 1 or 2. Not terribly dangerous at that range, but best dealt with if I don't have anything better to do. Even if it does manage to close into the 12-mile range, I'll be able to blast that thing with ASROCs. I had a comment lately saying, hey, you had ASROC. Why did you not actually use those against submarines? Well, if an ASROC is in range, something has gone pretty horribly wrong. Because that means that the target is within, like, what, 16 miles? I don't ever want them to get to 16 miles, because the ASROC... Sorry, 6 miles. If a submarine is within 6 miles, I've basically already lost the fight. That means that you are just toast. Whoops. You're just toast. You are already under attack. That's why I'm not actually using the ASROC. Some ASROCs might have some slightly better range, but it's not really going to be that impressive. Okay, we got Callahan engaging. Scott in the previous episode had something really weird going on with her missile launchers. I'm not sure if that's still happening. Let's see if she has improved her conditions since. She was dunking her missiles right into the water for some completely bizarre reason. They're actually going up. Progress. How many we got? 6? 2 birds, throwing 3 each. Yeah, throwing 3 each. That would line up. Let's go get them. They're flying nice and high, easy to detect. One intercepted. 7-6, that's these. We're detecting more of these. No joy. Nightmare. I highly doubt you'll be able to pitch in, because those missiles are already on top of you. Before you're turned around, they'll be gone. We've intercepted a few of them. Got one. This one's on the down track. We got him. Okay, cool. Spade. Go after them. Range, 75 miles. Before you get there, we will be doing quite some other things. Alright, dude. I want you to engage the Alpha. Target too far. Well, in that case, I suggest you go after it. And prepare to drop some torpedoes at him. There's one. I'm going to drop the second one as well. Okay. Actually, don't go RTB just yet. We're going to throw 2 sonobuoys. One above, one below. I'll move that waypoint. I think they might get him in one go. If not, I have more of those Sea Kings coming up. Depth, 320. This one is slowly changing depth. Good. There you are. There you are. Seeing as I don't have a towed array, they're unaware. They don't know they're under attack, which is why I always attack alphas from behind. If you do give them an opportunity to run, they will run. And they can run very, very, very quickly. Hit. Second torpedo. I got these active sonar buoys here in case the guy actually decides to throw noisemakers out, but I don't think he's doing much of that. Let's give him some time to cook. Alright, how are we doing on the missile strike? About 35 miles out. This is where things are going to get very interesting. Because they got an enormous amount of contacts, and they will not know which is which. Which missile needs to get shot down, which can you kind of safely ignore. I am interested in seeing how many ships we'll actually find, because I'm only detecting 2. And my detector is about to run dry. So, let's get you replaced. Callahan, you got a bird? You got a bird. Alright, going to launch point. The other one's just come back. I think Bunker Hill was launching the other one. Yep, her other Sea Sprite is rearming. Excellent. Yeah, these are going to fly past, but that's fine. I definitely over-calculated where they're going to be. So be it. But there's still plenty of lines going for them. Turn on the weapon seekers. Weapon seekers on. You can see that the 109C has no weapon seeker, but these boys do. And at some point, they will detect that very large radar profile, and they will engage it. There you go. They're just locking on right now. They're detecting things. You can, I think with a radar at this altitude, you can see about 25 miles. And that does perfectly line up with their capabilities. These are the second wave, if you will. The 109s are the first wave. At least the Vanguard. And those things are about, what is that, 280? Like there. Passing 270. Yep, another 109C is adjusted. Oh, sorry, 109B. Anti-ship missile. This one hasn't locked on yet. You can see it's changed color. And you can also see that the lines are starting to converge. There it goes. This one is just locked on. Okay, dude. The interesting bit is, these ships, I think, are only just waking up to the fact that they're under attack. They don't have their radars active. I'm not detecting radars from anything else either. Hold on, is it just 2 Kirovs?
Bandits, bandits.
Crap, more aircraft? Hold on. You're empty. Okay, Spade 1. I need you to engage this one. I need you to engage that one. And we do have more birds coming in.
Roger, turn, 0.
Now, at this point there's a lot going on, so I'll try to cover everything at the same time. Which will potentially cause some pausing and jumping around. So be it. There's the strike. 4 aircrafts. Which I'm kind of surprised by, because I was expecting more missiles. Unless these are not our guys. Alright, how are we doing? This is a land attacker. You can see that they're constantly shooting down more land attackers. That's the anti-ship missiles, though. That's unfortunate. It's not like Kiros will ever run out of missiles. Well, not never, but not likely anytime soon. The Alpha's dead. That's good. I don't really find the air-to-air combat to be that interesting at the moment, because right now those aircraft are not a threat, whereas these 2 Kirovs most certainly are. Interestingly, they're intercepting mostly anti-ship missiles, not land attackers. There's another anti-ship missile. Can they distinguish now? I mean, I am now on a different version, which you don't see anymore, I think. No. Okay, that's the aircraft. We got 1 of the anti-ship missiles getting pretty close. So we're about 2 miles out. Hold on a second. You... Yeah, you're not a Kirov. Jeez, they're close. They're almost on top of each other.
Fox 2.
You're going not for the Kirov.
Roger, RTB.
If we are actually going to be seeing a second Kirov, this is going to be quite interesting. We hit one of the TUs from the airstrike. Hit. We still got a mix going for one ship and the other ship, so ideally we'll take them both out. With a free camp. These Russian ships are fighting it with everything they got. Look at that. There's missiles coming out the wazoo with this guy. And you, my friend, I hope your Sea Whiz does what it needs to do. If not, that happens. I'm especially happy with that hit on the Kirov. I need that thing to start taking lots more damage. There's another 2 hits. Oop, that was a land attacker that flew over, I think. Sea Whiz. Sea Whiz from these ships are just so impressive. There's another hit. Look at how much they're blasting with. Even that, though, is not enough. I think that might have eliminated the Sea Whiz on the bow. The Sea Whiz on the stern is not quite covering the ship. So these 2 could very well be out. This guy is remarkably calm under everything, though. That is one stoic sailor. Very impressive. Come on, give me 2 or 3 more missiles. That ought to do it. Yep, Kirov's dead. That was Franze. Ideally we nail both. But not 100%. Also, I want to know if there's more of these bastards around. And we are still shy 1 submarine.
Roger, turn 276.
Inactive buoy there. Situation here, Tiger 3. Please engage. Nightmare 1. Hold on, did I? Oh no. Spade 1-1 got shot down by virtue of a 23mm on the stern, and so got Spade 1-2. This is why I hate short-range air-to-air duties. Because if they try and line up behind it, because they already used their missiles, they tend to just die. They tend to just die because they just get shot down by this stern gun. It's not great. No, I got lots of missiles still cruising. Interestingly, the mission briefing said there's 2 Kirovs, which would kind of line up with the amount of threats that I've been getting. A lot of missiles. But I'm not seeing anything else. My picket's now flying home, and I did send up another picket.
Roger, turn 2.
Let's get you to 6.
Go down. Roger, turn 289.
So there could be another ship out there. Fun. Alright. Let's first eliminate this Tu-22. I think it's our last surviving member. Let's get that done with a couple of sidewinders and not close in. We are not going to do a gun attack against this thing because it's too deadly. Its capabilities of shooting back and actually eliminating 2 Harriers have definitely shown that. Nightmare 1-1. Hold.
Roger, turn 0.
Nightmare 5. Sorry, Spade 5-2 standby.
094.
Got him on visual. Do we? 10 miles out. Freezing of the game there. Not sure what that was. Okay, 9 miles out. 8-6. Where are you, little bird? 7.
Buoy away.
6. He's lower than we are. There. That's him. Go on. Surely by now you have range. Target not in firing arcs. Well, maybe you should work on that then.
9. Engaging track 7-1.
Shoot 1, shoot 2. Okay. Okay. And gone.
Splash track.
Well done.
7.
Okay, you boys can loiter.
Turn 0.
At the moment, I don't really have anything else to do for you. Kiddo's done for, but their friend is
On station.
not. Well, not 100%. They might very well still sink. They're definitely not going to be presenting that much of a problem. Let's go to Griffin 2 and hunt down that submarine. That needs to get dealt with next. With the air threat gone, I can speed back up to a head full.
Ahead full. Maneuvering eye.
You are dropping another 4 buoys. And how far is that buoy? 50 miles or so? Yeah. So that means I don't really have to worry about submarines for the time being, especially as there might still be more along that line. But for the time being, I'm not that concerned. I think we have the submarines detected as is. Let's give it a little bit more range. Crap, I completely lost them.
On station.
We do have a dipping sonar, which is extremely valuable. I can basically use that as a temporary active sonar array. Because that's what it is.
Buoy away. New submerged submarine.
There you are.
Contact detected.
Picked up by the sonar buoy there.
Buoy away. Track
Depth 250.
709.
This isn't above the layer.
Is classified. Hostile. Warship.
What? Ah, the Slav is toast. Good. Good.
Roger. Turn 337.
You're above the layer at 250? And you're not seeing? Really?
Roger. Turn. Roger. Turn.
That's surprising.
320.
Go above the layer. Basically ping right on top of him. And then we're going to attack him from behind again. This is also to make sure that I can still keep an eye on him if he drops noisemakers. There. Active return, semi-small. 10 knots. He doesn't know about the buoys. I really hope that that gets changed at some point. I want to know if I'm in submarine. And I also want the AI to know, if they're in a submarine, that there are sonar buoys around. Because I do believe that they should be able to hear them. There's one. 2. Nope, not yet. I'll keep you around. Status. Depth. 70. 65. It's locked on. 90. 100. Yep, that's him. He's passing almost directly under the sonar buoy, but he has no clue that he's in dire, dire trouble. Just as I like it. He still hasn't figured it out. He can't hear it.
On station.
Hit.
Track 7120.
Hit. Okay, Griffin 2, well done.
RTB.
You can RTB. The reason why I'm RTBing is because at the moment, these sonar buoys, they're going to wear out in an hour. I will be doing this. This is 50 miles from present location. This is going to definitely take me more than an hour. So I don't really need to be dropping sonar buoys there just yet. What I do need to figure out is where more of the targets are. Because I doubt we're alone. That, however, is something you'll be seeing in the next episode, which, for members, is already up. If you want to see the next episode already, you can. It's available for members. If you're not a member, either hit the join button or wait a few days and the next video will become available. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys soon for the next part.